Okay, continuing on with checkmate puzzles. Do we want to do easiest? Or do we want to go back to normal? Let's do normal. I'm not feeling that quick anyway. Maybe harder, actually. Let's see if I can even get any of them. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at the board first. Reading the board is part of the practice I'm trying to get better at. White has 4 pawns. I have 5 pawns. He has 3 minor pieces. I have 2. And then he has 2 rooks. I have 2 rooks as well. His king is not in a very good spot. And my king is also not in a very good spot. If my rook was over here on this side, this would be winning. But tisn't. There is potentially some kind of immediate threat from the knight, but his other pieces are blocked from hitting me immediately. And my queen is under attack. So something I talked about in the last video is not only reading the board, but maybe going back a few steps and just seeing where we are in the game. Just seeing how these two opponents were playing. My low knight and Der Gute 6655. Der Gut. Okay, interesting. So there's an interesting sack here. Right. If bishop takes rook, then there's just immediate checkmate with the queen. So king has to take care of that issue. And then the queen slips in. King runs away. Queen checks again. King runs again. Alright, slowly getting into the process of doing queen takes g2. Rook comes up. Knight's coming to deflect that or distract him away. Or remove it, I guess, just in general. And then, yeah. White played a wonderful move there. Not only defending the knight, but also putting the queen under pressure. But apparently it's not as good as it seems. That's interesting. Okay, so the first thing I think is takes. But then there's takes. That doesn't seem very good. There's also something like takes, check. Rook takes g2 check. Then there would be rook takes g2 check. I don't really see a possibility. I see myself winning some pieces, I guess. In the end, I'd be trading a rook for 2 minor pieces. There's also this. There's like this, this, this. I feel like the knight taking seems pretty good, but then that's not good. This isn't very good either, I don't think. I have to make do with the 3 pieces I have, and the 3 pieces that he has, including the king. I mean, this guy is defended by the knight on g4, so I could do something like queen to e3. Putting pressure on this guy. But what kind of pressure is it? Because if knight takes, king takes... Yeah, that doesn't seem like anything. Okay. So what about if I just sack the... What What if I sack the rook? Right? Bishop can't take. King has to take. At that point, I just win. I guess it wasn't that hard. There we go. Sacking is always the answer in mating puzzles, right? This is interesting. I am down so many pieces. I'm black. My king's exposed. All I have are a couple of pieces. I have 2 minor pieces. He has 2 rooks and a minor piece. He's up on pawns as well. This isn't looking strong for me. This isn't looking strong. I have a fork here. That's fun. But there's possibilities of mates coming very soon, so... Like if I did this... Well, that's just mate in 1, right? Yeah. Oh, actually, no, there's bishop blocks. Which is pretty good. But then it comes with bishop and... Bishop to f4 check. And I feel like, yeah, there's probably great opportunities of me losing everything. And then his king is also out in the middle, exposed. So whoever gets to checkmate first, I think, is going to win. The first move I see potentially is bishop to either d7 or to c2. Bishop to c2, let's see where that goes. There's 2 potentials, I guess, he has there. So, yeah, let's try bishop to c2, check. King moves to a3. Knight comes in for a check. Knight could come in for a check here, but then it'd be taken. Yeah, so knight comes in here for a check. That takes care of this square. This square is still taken care of. This square is taken, and this is so he's mated. There's no way to stop that one. Bishop c2 check. If he runs this way, still knight c4 for a check. He can't move here. This is blocked. This is blocked by the knight. This is still blocked by the bishop. This is still blocked by this piece, this pawn. So that's also a checkmate. Alright. Both of those look pretty checkmatey. Is there anything that can possibly block me? No, I don't think so. Alright, yay. I was going to take a look back at the game, too. That was a ridiculous game. I should have looked at that game. Okay, well, this also doesn't look good. Looks like he's up some pieces. Let's see, he has 5, 6 pawns, and I have 4 pawns. I have 2 minor pieces. He has 3. He has a rook. I have a rook. He has a queen. I have a queen. My king's exposed. His king looks very, very nice. His king looks very, very nice and calm. Looks delicious. So I think the right move is, I mean, I'm in huge trouble. If it was his turn, I don't know how quickly I would be mated, but this looks very confusing and bad. Maybe it's not that bad, because like this is met with that. Queen takes is met with bishop takes on, what is that, c8? Oh, my eyes are going terrible. Jesus. I should probably go to a doctor, an optometrist. Optometrist? Orthopedist? No, that's for feet, right? But yeah, queen takes c8 is met with bishop takes c8, so that's not it. This isn't it either. Queen to f7 isn't it. Queen to e7 isn't it. I wish this was it, but that's not possible. We have like bishop. Yeah, if it was on the white side, what is the best move here? Because my bishop is also kind of weak here, isn't it? Like, I was thinking maybe like bishop to c6, but beyond the fact that there are 2 takers, which I didn't realize, we can just take the bishop on f8, right? So, you know, as weird as this looks, maybe I'm not in as much danger as I thought. Everything is neatly coordinated. I'm not saying he doesn't have coordination either, because there's some strong possibilities here, but yeah, I guess I'm okay. Also, his knight's not doing anything. Also, his rook's not doing anything. So he has more pieces, but mine are more active right now and relevant to the shenanigans of my demise over here. And I think generally the answer to the puzzle is sack the queen, rook takes, and then you do the checkmate via this. But is there no reason why I can't? Oh, yes, there is perfectly reason. The diagonal is what matters here. It's not necessarily the piece that matters here. It's just that the diagonal has to be pinned for the rook. So, alright. So the idea would be sack the queen, check. Queen takes f2. King can't take because it's defended by the bishop. Rook takes, and then we do this. Rook's pinned to the bishop, and then the king has nowhere to go. And there's nobody that can block him. So yeah, that's it. Oh. Well, there's also that then. I think I can just take. Let me just double check. Make sure it's not defended. Alright. Yeah, two ways of going about them. I guess they decide to take that route. Works for me. Never thought of a possibility, though. Ooh, looks like I'm gonna get back rank mated. That's what that looks like. Holy Jesus. Alright, got nice pawns. I like my pawns. Don't like this. Don't like this. None of this looks good. Thankfully, there's that. Oh, but there's number 3 there. Tricky. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure I like this. This looks pretty bad. There's that, though. So I guess that's okay. Am I in any kind of immediate threat? No. Is this dangerous? Yes, 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 yes. Man, some kind of fork with that bishop would be delicious. But yeah, let's see what we got. I mean, yeah, his king is kingside. He pushed his at some point. This pawn's gonna fall. This pawn might fall. I got the battery. He's got the rank though. Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. Except we know how this ends. La 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 la. So, what do we do? What is the first move that I see? I see this. Potentially. One of these two. Let's see what this happens. Potentially he can run here. And he can run here. And he can run here. Okay. Okay. So if... And he can take. Right? So let's say he runs. Rook runs. Okay. Then we have queen to f4 check. No flight square back. Oops. So can't go back. No, that's the wrong one. He'd have to force there. King to h5 and then queen to g5, and that would be a checkmate. And I don't think there are any blockers in that scenario. Let's do it the other way. Let's say he goes there. I mean, that looks okay, right? I don't really see anything. We have to come back up? Or I'd have to find something? Yeah, that doesn't look good. So it has to be perpetual, obviously. This looks pretty good. He looks pretty safe there. I don't really see anything. So maybe that's not the best answer. Oh, I missed it. I have a one of these. I have a queen to g8 or a rook to g8. Queen to g8 looks pretty decent. I think king would have to go to h6. And then queen to f8 check. Queen could block. Then I could do something tricky like bishop check, bishop g5 check, king takes bishop, and then queen takes queen. But then because of this threat, that's never great. Queen to g8 here, king to h6. How do we continue this line? I'm having a difficult time figuring it out. There's a queen sack. Queen takes h7, king takes h7. Then I can't really do that. Boo. I guess we could try the other way. Rook to g8. King to h6. I think that's the line we want. Yeah. Rook to g8 and queen to h6, and then, or king to h6, and then we've calculated this line before. Queen to f4, check. King has to go to h5, and then queen takes on g5. So if I do this, is there any kind of blocking move he can do? And the answer is no. I don't think he does. And he doesn't have these flight squares. He doesn't have this square because of that. He doesn't have this because of that. So the only place he can go to is h6. Okay. Alright. That took me a little time, but I'm happy that I found it out. Okay, endgame with queens on the board. He's got 4 pawns and I've got 4 pawns. We're both very exposed and not sure what's gonna happen. Yeah, this looks terrible. And then there's definitely ideas for perpetual at that point. If I was in a real game, I'd be scared. I'd probably think about that. If he did this, I'd do that, but then he takes there. It's got nice coordination. So the first idea that comes to me is this one. Queen to c5? Yeah, queen to c5, controlling this file, controlling this diagonal. So the only flight square the king would have is over there. No blockers from the queen. Queen to c5, check. King to a4. And then I think this is checkmate. Queen to a5. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie, we're doing pretty good so far. Oh, this is an interesting one. I want to immediately jump into the puzzle, but I should probably look at the board. That's just my line. It's my life. I should just probably look at the board. These things look fun, but I should do the right thing. Ugh, terrible. Awful. I should push the F pawn. Let's see here. Oh, I did push the F pawn. That's great. I'm thinking that I should read the board. God damn it. Okay, so let's look at the pawns. He has 7 pawns. Holy dingus. Alright, he has 7 pawns and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, he's a pawn up. His pawns are well consolidated. This seems like a move at some point. I don't even know how he got out all of his pieces. This is insane. This is wackadoo shit. Maybe, oh yeah, we should take a look at the board before it got into the state. My king is out and about. I would say his king's safe, but this diagonal looks tremendously terrible and horrifying. And I mean, we know how this ends. This ends in a checkmate, so this is not a good pattern. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but that's kind of sucky. My rook isn't in the game. His knight is out of the game. That bishop and the rook are out of the game. This is one of those weird starts, I feel like. Very, very weird start. Potential scary positions if the knights were in here. This queen going up to e6 would be horrifying, but with that there, I don't know. It's actually not that badly defended. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Is there something here? It's not immediate though. Oh, this could be good except for that. Yeah, so actually as what's the P word that I'm trying to think of? What is that? Not promiscuous. That's not the right word. Anyway, as dangerous as this position looks like my king is actually kind of safe in this situation, which is bonkers. But not for long. I'm sure if he gets any of his other pieces moving, it's going to be pretty dangerous. So we got to make our move now. And what I see right now is this possibility. But that being said, let's take a look at the game so far. Let's look at what's happened, because this is some crazy stuff. I would have thought that he would have gotten more pieces out. Man, we're seeing the whole game now? Okay. I mean, this looks so far very normal. Uh-huh. 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 Oh my god, this could be one of my games as white. Uh-huh. Yeah, this looks very, very normal. Uh-huh. Okay. Alright. I like that pin. What? Wait, what is this? I gotta see it from the other side. Oh, I can't see it from the other side? Of all the places where the F doesn't work, it's this one? Okay. Why is he doing that? That seems bad. Don't do that. Yeah. No, this seems... Okay, yeah. That's also good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright, okay. Uh-huh. I see how the knights ended up in that position. Okay. 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 Wait, when did he move that? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, alright. And this, yeah. Wow. Alright. Everything is starting to slowly make sense now. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is so hilarious. Alright. Alright. I see how we got there. And black played it, yeah, black played it the way I would have played it. White played it interestingly. I don't know if that knight move was... Or I mean, I'm sorry, the knight move from c3 to d5. That's, I don't think, that was a little too early, I think. And then if he had this diagonal, this could have been slightly less worrisome. I'm glad his queen's active, though. But yeah, so the line I'm thinking has something to do with this diagonal, like maybe a forced checkmate here, or forced check there. Rook has to take, and then we do that. Pawn takes g2 check. King has to move to g1, and then knight to f3 check, and I think that's a mate. Without any ways to stop that from happening. So let's take a look here again. Queen to g2, check, has to force take. Rook takes, pawn takes. Is there any way to get rid of the pawn at this moment? No. King has to respond. moves over to the only safe square, to g1, at which point we take over g1, pawns controlling these two, and we win. Okay. Well, that's a fun one. That looks very cool. That looks very, very cool. That is so cool looking. This could have potentials for me, because there is a lot of, what is it, kingside games that I play where I might get a little bit aggro on the king side. So that seems pretty dope. That seems good. This seems less good. Interesting ideas, though. Very interesting ideas. I guess we should look at the board. I'm white. I have 4 pawns. He has way more than 4 pawns. Looks like 6 pawns. He has double pawns, though, and this pawn is just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, only being defended by the queen. That can definitely not be to his good health. That's probably not good. I don't know what I'm even trying to say. He has a rook and a minor piece. I have a rook and a minor piece. Fairly open board, so I think if his bishop was able to get out into the middle and coordinate with other pieces, that'd be good. But right now he just has to guard against this rook, and our rook is on the back rank, so I feel pretty okay about that. Not going to get any pawns anytime soon, though. But we know that we're not here for that. My king is under suspicious circumstances. I am afraid, but he doesn't have everything he needs to do anything wild. Pinned, so he can't do that. Alright, well, it's not his turn anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's just dangerous. Precarious, if anything. Precarious! That's the word I was looking for. Precarious! So, 2 ideas jump out at me. One is the queen. The other is the knight. Trying to get to the king. And the reason it works so well is because right now the bishop is pinned. However, that's kind of slow. There's not an immediate threat. Actually, with a knight, there's an immediate threat. So that would probably be the preferred line to look at first. That would be the critical one. Like, for instance, knight there. Knight to h6 check. King has to move somewhere. This makes the most sense, because if he doesn't, if he moves to h8, for example, that comes with rook takes. Maybe something like this. I don't know. This is a weird line. I guess the queen is... Oh yeah, the queen is defending the knight, so then the rook could just go over to g8, and I think that might be almost checkmate, but it's not. Interesting. So... That's tricky. I don't know where to go from there. That doesn't even seem like the right line. Interesting. On the other hand, we have queen to over here. But that could just easily be met with something like this. Maybe even just take my... Oh, well, that puts pressure on him to do something, actually. Oh, if I go queen here, and if he takes, then there's very much a checkmate very soon. Is there not? Wait. What happens? Because if I go here, and then queen takes, then queens have to trade. But then I don't think I have anything here. What's going on? Maybe I sacrificed a rook. Rook. And then king has two options, either take or run. If he runs, then it's checkmate immediately, because rook controls this file. If he takes, he's stuck. I can do one more check to push him either back to here or back to there, back to the E or the G square. Either way, that comes with a check this way, because my knight's still controlling that the E7 square, and he'd just be stuck in that rank. Or if he moves back to G7, then I just hug him off the edge. Okay. So I think I found the correct line. I'm really curious about this, but I don't think this leads anywhere interesting. That's pinned, but it can move at some point. Actually, there's no real good place for it to move. Wow. That is interesting. But yeah, I guess that's not the answer. Do this. Let's see where he goes. Oh yeah, we can hug him to death. Cool. Very good. Très fantastique. What is this? This looks so close to some kind of so close to a whatchamacallit, a smothered mate. But I think it's just gonna be like a Anastasia idea. Is this an Anastasia though? Because you are controlling one of the squares with your piece, and then his friendly piece is blocking him there. I have another one blocking him, I guess. I guess it is. Oh, but the knight's about to go down. We should definitely calculate this line. But we should read the board. So he has equal pawns to me. My pawns are not connected, and they are gonna fall very, very soon. My queen is under attack as well. He has a rook on the second file. All of his pieces seem to be either active or becoming active. He has two rooks and one minor piece, and oh Jesus. On the other hand, I have a potential for some kind of fork. But yeah, my queen currently is under a lot of pressure, so I would have to find a safe square to go to. I like that my b-pawn and my bishop are working well together. If I had another turn, I would like to get my pawn out to like d5, maybe a rook closer to the king and their side. Being here would, like, over here would be okay as well, controlling some of the center here. That wouldn't be bad defensively. But yeah, I think we all know what's coming next. But oh, there's bishop. Bishop takes d4. That's pretty nice. Maybe try to focus on that pawn. But I have a couple of defenders, nice white squared defenders that could potentially help out. I don't know. Just block it. If he did this. He can't. I don't know, yeah. It's confusing lines, but it's not his turn, so we don't have to really worry. And it looks like even with the take and I move, there's still a couple of moves before I'll have to really worry about what's going on. Not that that'll happen. This would be the first obvious move that I would see. Anyway, the line I'm thinking is knight to g6 check. Pawn has to take, because g8 is being controlled by the bishop. When that happens, we have queen to h4, and I think that's straight checkmate. I don't think there's anything that can block me. Yeah. This is blocked. This is too far away. And yeah. Okay. So I don't know if this is an Anastasia or not. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm too afraid to look things up on my own browser because this is being recorded, and God knows what horrible things people might find out about me. But I really want to know. Oh no. What is it? Oh, I can just do a new tab here, right? And I can say Anastasia mate. Checkmate patterns. It's always the first one. That's an Anastasia. Knight and a rook team up. Okay, so it has to be a knight and a rook? Because of a novel. That's so crazy. It's not an Arabian mate. It's not bishop and knight mate, obviously. It's not a Blackburn's mate. It's not a blind swine. It's not Bowden's. That's a very pretty mate, though. It's not a corner mate. No, it's not Damiano's bishop mate. It's not Damiano's mate. It's not a double bishop mate. Oh! Guys, we figured out what it is. It's called the dovetail. Oh, the dovetail, guys. We figured it out. Guys, we have a name for this video, too. Wonderful. Epaulette? Epaulette? I guess it's epaulette because there's an E at the end, right? So you pronounce the last consonant. Epaulette? I don't know. Jesus, losing that way would be so frustrating. Oh my god. That's brutal. Greco's mate. That's what we're looking for. It works by using the bishop to contain the black king. Okay, so when it happens like this, it's a Greco's mate. When it happens, I guess even if the bishop was on f7 and it was blocking those and the king was there and the queen was one down, it would still be a Greco's mate. Using the bishop to contain the black king by using the black g-pawn and so kind of using the queen or the rook too. I wonder if it's different. Anyway, okay, so this was a Greco's mate. Good to know. And now we're on to the next one. Awesome. This looks dangerous. That looks like a checkmate. Yeah, that looks pretty much like a checkmate. Let's look at the pawns. I got 4 pawns. He has 5 pawns. He has a queen and a knight. I have a queen and knight. This king's okay. He might get mated very soon. Some kind of back range shenanigans or whatever. I'm about to get mated very, very soon. Unless I did something like this, I guess. I don't know. This looks dangerous. This looks super dangerous. Like, let's see how terrible it is if it was Black's turn. Or if I decided to do this just as instead of trying to mate the guy. Queen to g5. That gives me this. Queen to f1. King there. I guess it's not that bad. I am curious. Can't see a good line, though. Would that be enough to defend against us? I guess, yeah. There's only 2 attackers, so the king and the queen together just defending on the g-pawn. That might be enough. Okay, maybe it's not as scary if I were to make some kind of move. If I were to make this move, yeah, he'd have to do something. They would have to do something with the knight to ensure its safety. Okay. But that's not the situation we're in right now. Well, that is the situation we're in right now. My queen's under attack, but there's mating potential. And that's something that I should get used to seeing. And that's why we are looking for mates. Because after we look at our threats and we see some kind of defensive maneuver, we should think more aggressively. Try to find something. What do we have? We have this. What is this? Queen to d8. Check. King to h7. Knight to g5 check. Queen to king to h6. So if I do that, queen to h8 check, king takes, g5. I have pawn to h4 check. But I feel like he's running away at that point. Seems kind of runny, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So queen to d8 check, king to g7. Huh. Knight to f5. King to h6. Knight's defended. But I gotta keep the check train continuing. I'm gonna get mated. Queen to h8. King takes. Pawn to h4. King to g4. Queen stuck in the corner. This doesn't seem right. This does not seem right. Okay. If I could have a move to do this, that's back rank. That being said, this is an issue right now. If we had some kind of distraction for this guy, or some kind of zwish and zug, something, some kind of. Oh! Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. So I wasn't looking at a particular line because I thought the queen on his side had it. But the line that I was not looking at was queen to d8, check, king to h7, knight to g7, or knight to g5, check, and then king to h6. But instead of trying to force the queen in, the line that I wasn't looking at was knight takes. Knight takes f7 check. And this would be pretty dangerous, because once the knight's here, it can control this square. It's putting in the king into check. King would have to move over one. This pawn is controlling that square, and then the queen would come in for a mate on that file. But of course, when I was looking at that, I was thinking, oh, queen just takes, but that's actually no problem because the king is way too deep in to his own weird filed pawn shield thing, and then my queen can come in on this diagonal here, on the d8 to the h4 diagonal, and the king has no way to run, and there's no way to block that mate from happening. Very cool. So queen to d8 check, king goes to h7, knight checks from g5, king has to move down to h6, another knight check in between, queen takes in defending, and then checkmate from there. Wow, that took me a little bit. That was a hard one. I also forgot to look at what the game looked like before, but yeah, the reason I'm looking at the games before is to get a better feeling of... In fact, actually looking at the game after I solve the puzzle is not a bad idea, so that I can have just kind of a smooth transition of what it would look like to not freak the fuck out when things happen, right? Because in this situation, I was in a pretty freak the fuck out kind of situation. He decides to trade the rooks. Okay, that's crazy. And then he's like, I also want to trade the knights, or I mean the queens, he says. And white is like, no, no. And slowly the black queen moves in. That's an interesting move there. Alright, letting him take the middle pawn, but then, ooh, that beautiful queen move there. Ooh, I bet black thought that he had won the game at this point. Oh, very nice maneuvers from black. Getting set up. Even this last one, that's so good. I would have panicked so much if I was in white's position. I'd have probably just... Yeah, I would have resigned at this point. That looks so unbeatable. And I would be so focused on this side, I would not look at the counterattacks that I had possible. And that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would have never found this in the game. That makes me very sad. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see here. Immediate thing I see, even before I read the board, is that, but there's this. That's not a thing. This. So that's not a thing quite yet. Looks exciting, though. This is exciting. Interesting. I don't know how this happened. But yeah, let's read the board. We got 6 pawns, 5 pawns. He has a bit more pawns. King is lacking some flight squares. My king wants to castle on the king's side, but this bishop has nestled itself into a very, very pretty little place. That's going to be very hard to get him out of. Yeah, when it comes to material, I got 2 bishops and a knight, and he's got 2 knights and a bishop, but that is very hot bishop. And these knights are well coordinated. That's good. That's all sorts of good. Yeah, both of our both of the kings somehow ended up stuck in the middle. This is good. Feel that rook on the half-open file there. That's a strong rook. I like that rook. This rook? Queen doesn't have a lot of places to go either, actually. Yeah, castling has become incredibly difficult. I would love to see what this match looked like. Oh, I didn't mean to click on the thing! I don't even know which thing I clicked on. Jeez. Alright, well. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that again. God damn it. Alright, well, we know this is definitely not it because there's 2 defenders here, so that's obviously not it. What I was going to say is that because the king is missing a lot of room here, it almost seems like we could do something like this, you know? Forcing the rook for the knight trade. So, knight to g7, check, rook takes, queen takes. But it's not immediate, is it? I mean, there are forcing lines, though. It's only a matter of time. But it's not quick. Does it need to be quick? I feel like it needs to be quick. Right. Because if knight takes, rook takes, and then queen takes, there is pawn takes. Pawn takes bishop on e6, and then no matter how much I want to checkmate him, it's going to be a little bit more difficult now. Yeah, that's not good. Where's he going? I don't even know. That doesn't look great. That doesn't look immediate. But I don't want that bishop to go away. I feel like that bishop's really strong. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't even realize. There is queen to f8. The only guard for that is the rook. So if I can figure out a way to get rid of that rook, then queen to f8. Why did I feel like I was about to go into a voice? Queen to f8 would be really good. Queen to anyway. Whatever. Okay. So if that be the case, how can I distract this rook if that is the case without blocking this diagonal though, right? Because if I do the knight move, rook moves, and that's great. Oh, but so it doesn't matter if pawn takes, because I have that. Alright. Oh, but he moves this way. Then there's this. He still moves away, though. I can still keep on chasing him. Until here. Because these knights are still together. Then I have rook. What's going on? This is clearly not the right line. That was a very fun line, though. That's insanity, but that was fun. Okay. So what are some other ideas that we have? Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I was trying to sacrifice this potential mate for this mate, but I think it's the other way around. If I sacrifice my queen, then this is a smothered mate. Yeah. Simple, but it took me a second to figure out which mate potential I had to sacrifice. Yeah. Very good stuff. Alright, my back's starting to hurt, so that's probably the last game. Or, I mean, the last mate that I'll do for now. That was a quick one. Wow, that was a high-level game. My current Lee Chess rating right now isn't even half their rating, I think. What's my rating in... Wait, what was that in? That was in... Uh-oh. Oh, that's not the right... This isn't the right puzzle. Oh, where'd the puzzle go? Where'd my last puzzle go? Is there a way to look at my last puzzle? I don't think there is. Oh, wait. Puzzle dashboard. I think that just goes to puzzles. Puzzle dashboard. 46 to replay. No, these are the ones that I just got wrong. Puzzle history. I failed this one. No, I didn't fail it. I was just clicking on things. But yeah. I want to see. This was done in a 10-0. Dude, I would have never found this. This is insane. Yeah. I guess my rapid rating isn't that bad. It's pretty bad, though. It's amateur. It's amateur. I haven't played rapid in so long. It was at 1550. Okay. So not quite half, but it could definitely happen. Well, thanks for watching again. I know nobody has started watching because I haven't shared this anywhere yet, but maybe I will soon. I don't know. I kind of like making these videos by myself and like not sharing it to anyone. Now it's just turning into this sick old man thing. I don't know what it is. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm going to continue on with mate puzzles, I think. That's all I'm going to do. That's the only way I'm going to get better enough to just improve, because I keep just losing in tactics. I need to practice more everything else tactics, like pins, forks, x-rays, blah 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 blah, distractions, whatnot. But currently, I think still mate's the king. I feel like the limit that I need to get at is when I'm in a game and I can quickly see mating threats as well as see mating potentials. Like, I would like to be able to see positions in like the hard or harder puzzles. I think there's just harder and hardest actually. Yeah. But yeah, to see puzzles in the harder section that I can be like, oh yeah, this is that kind of mate, and be able to do it. That being said, I'm so happy that we figured out what that mating pattern is. The dovetail mate. And we now know the difference between the Greco and the Anastasia as well. So I feel like our vocabulary is expanding, which oftentimes within a system is pretty important, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know how you're watching, unless you're Zach, my friend, who subbed recently. Just because I had competition from some high school girls on YouTube. But yeah, more mates in the future. I'll see you later.